Welcome out to another episode of It's All Been Trucked Before. This time, the Jihad. I always thought it was just Jihad, but it's the Jihad. This is not a Jihad. It's just been going on a long time. The good, the bad, the geeky, or GBG. It's back, baby. This very long-running pop culture podcast has new movie reviews with hosts Nick Argenbright and friends. They break down everything you need to know with all their nerd cred and witty insight. It also features live games like Judge Jimmy, DJ Meets Bro Code, and more. GBG, the good, the bad, the geeky. They've been doing it a long time. Check them out here on the IABD network. While you're doing that, I just said IABD. Go to patreon.com/IABD. That way you can support those GBG guys. You can support us on Trek as we continue our 5-year journey, which is going to turn into 4 or 5-year journeys if we live that long. Speaking of journeys, it's all been done. A Bare Naked Ladies podcast. I think Bare Naked Ladies are still making records, right? So it's just like the Star Trek stuff. It's going to keep going. Evan and Sager are going through the entire Bare Naked Ladies catalog, one song at a time, in their bi-weekly show. It's all been done, a Bare Naked Ladies podcast. And now they've reached the big album, Stunt. Is that still, are they still on Stunt? Was that a double album?
No,
right?
They've just only been doing it every other week.
Oh, there you go. I just said that. Yeah, the one that contains 1 week. You know it. And again, I remind you, check out the story. 1 week is about a guy who kills his girlfriend with a golf club. Is it true? Probably not, but check it out. You can find it. Just search 1 week golf club murder, Bare Naked Ladies. You can find that out. It's a lot easier to find this, the Jihad, on It's All Been Trekked Before.
Welcome out to another episode of It's All Been Trekked Before. We have reached the season finale of Season 1. But I believe, as we mentioned previously in the podcast, we will not be taking our typical 6-week season break. We will be back next week with the Season 2 premiere, because there are only 6 episodes left of the animated series. So there's no reason to split this in half. 22 episodes total. That's still shorter than any of the original seasons.
Yeah.
And these episodes are half as long. So we are talking The Jihad.
The Jihad.
By Stephen Kandel, directed by Hal Sutherland, as they all are. Stephen Kandel, you may remember from stuff that IMDb is going to tell me. It says
wrote all the Mud episodes.
You mentioned that before we started, that he wrote Mud. I know we talked about his other credits previously in the podcast. I'm not worried about getting into that. But yeah, this and Mud's Passion were the only 2 of the animated he wrote. And from the original Star Trek, it was just the 2 Mud episodes. So this is the only non-Mud episode he wrote. And it might be his, well, I hesitate to say it's his best episode, but definitely in the top 2, I think. We can debate that, but...
Well, I mean, I tend to enjoy, however it ends up being executed, I enjoy the effort involved in coming up with bigger concepts and introducing aliens we haven't seen before. More creative voices for the aliens, things like that.
That's true.
It was entertaining, whether it was good or for good or bad reasons. It was enjoyable.
And 2 of his 3 Mud episodes sucked. So that's why I'm saying it's in my top 2 favorite Star Trek episodes he wrote.
So those would be Mud's Women and Mud's Passion?
Yeah.
Speaking of Mud's Passion, it's one of the ones I saw earlier today.
The animated.
Right. Yes. Just the offhanded way that they handled. Yeah, Chapel. Just trying to roofie Spock, essentially. Oh,
yeah.
With the love potion.
That's right, it was a love potion episode.
Yeah, he just no reaction to the fact that she tried to just like, hey, you know.
It was a different time, Keith.
Yeah, she wouldn't have done that, I'm saying.
Anyway, moving on back to this.
I mean, she won't do that in the future.
Right. Or she will not have, yeah. Exactly what you're saying. Voice-wise, this was an interesting one. Majel was credit only. Majel was not in this episode.
Oh,
wow. According to IMDb.
So who was the...
And Uhura was credit only as well, Nichelle Nichols. So David Gerald, the writer, did M3 and Green.
And that was the insect, right?
M3 was the insect?
M is the insect. I don't know who 3 is. And then Green.
Okay.
3 different characters. Jane Webb...
was Lara
and the Vidala female.
Oh, okay.
Jane Webb, you may know her. She was in the Tarzan Lord of the Jungle animated series in the 70s.
Which was also filmation.
She was Ginger and Marianne in the New Adventures of Gilligan animated series.
Huh.
She was Betty and Veronica in U.S. of Archie animated series.
Another show I saw.
I'd love to see that, actually. I don't think I've ever watched it.
She was Sabrina, Aunt Hilda, and Aunt Zelda in the Sabrina the Teenage Witch animated series in the 70s. So she obviously had...
Maybe I did see that.
A lot.
Wow.
And she was Batgirl, Barbara Gordon, and Catwoman in the Batman Superman animated hour in the 60s, late 60s.
Oh,
that I did not see.
Oh, wow, okay.
Oh, you know what? Maybe I did see that.
So she has a lot of credits. Famous voice actress. This was the only episode of Star Trek she did.
So she was the cave woman.
She and
the hunched over cat.
Wolf woman.
Oh.
The wolf-like woman with the backwards hands.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
I liked your voice in that. All right,
Yeah.
That's.
Was it a wolf? I thought it was a cat.
I thought it was a wolf.
I assumed it was a wolf.
I just
too.
I was so focused on the backwards hands. I don't know.
It looked like a hunched over like lycanthrope or something.
I felt bad for it. I wanted to have some kind of brace or something so it could stand up straight.
So who was Lara?
Lara was Jane Webb.
Yeah.
And she played the wolf cat,
Interesting.
whatever. And then David Gerald, the writer who wrote The Trouble with Tribbles and rewrote I, Mud and wrote The Cloud Minders and More Troubles, and Bem, which we haven't seen yet. He voiced the three other characters, which I think that's just weird to me. He also voiced a security ensign in More Troubles.
Yeah.
But he was a uncredited crewman in Star Trek: The Motion Picture, which we'll get to. But yeah, I thought that was interesting that David Gerald did 3
They should have used him more.
Yeah, he was better than
hilarious.
Jimmy Doohan's Ben.
So who was he in this?
He was the insect.
He was M.
Okay.
He was 3, and he was green.
So one of them was a lizard, probably.
Sword and Char were Jimmy Doohan.
Oh, okay.
You gotta be careful when you're Googling things here with this episode. When I type in the Jihad
Yeah.
and 3, because I was trying to figure out who 3 was.
I googled Jihad too during the episode because at first when they were saying Char, I thought they were saying Shah, which was like are they doing that? And then it actually ended up being him, right? And it was doing the.
Oh, okay. So M3 green is the insect's total name. There's just slashes in the middle of it.
Okay.
Which is the way IMDb has it. It's listed like 3 separate characters with the slashes because that's what they have for between characters.
Right. Yes.
But when I look it up, M3 green is the insect. So he just voiced 1, but he was great.
I was going to say that for I guess M3 Green, now that we know the name, I put that it sounded like Patton Oswalt playing Hudson from Aliens. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're all going to die.
Interesting.
Well, the character, not so much the performance, but the idea of but the voice sounded a lot like Patton Oswalt.
I wrote down he was like Star Trek Droopy. Oh, we're all going to die. Leave me, I can't go any further. Yeah, I guess as far as, it's obviously the classic ragtag crew or whatever, but I like the insect and I like the lizard guy.
Yes.
Swore.
Yes.
As comic relief.
I like Lara a lot less. I wanted to like her.
I have a lot of things about that.
I do too.
Okay, you want to talk about Lara?
Since we're there, I put first of all I put Lara is human ?
From another planet, not from Earth.
Okay.
I mentioned that.
That's interesting. All right, that
From
saves a
another
lot.
world.
I put she looks like a cave woman, but talks like a northern socialite reading southern slang.
I thought she talked almost like the old style, like World War II era.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
That's exactly what I mean.
Like Mae West, come up and see me.
Yeah,
Come up and see me. I wish we had more time, Captain.
But it's like, so she's doing this. But it's like this. But she's also dropping the G's on the words and also saying
little southern.
Yeah, critter, but not like in an accent. It's like she's just reading it straight, like read these words. Okay, not even trying to do the accent. But it's a weird kind of.
I was very curious about this other species of human that were evolving on another planet that weren't just a colony. But anyway, she ran funny the first 2 times, and then the third time her hands were balled to fist, and she ran normal.
Was she just not moving her arms the first?
It was the Scooby-Doo run.
Yeah, the way they kind of like do the
limp, weird.
And I like
But then the third run was normal.
Actually, it's more like C-Lab.
Whenever they run on the animated series, they leave a good amount of distance between them.
Well, yeah, you don't want to run into one another.
Right. What if we stop safety?
fast?
Right,
Yeah.
exactly. So that way they only have to have one character in the frame at a time.
Right.
Or one set of feet, if you will.
I don't know why the live action doesn't do the same thing. It just makes it's totally logical. Lara was super sexualized.
Yeah.
She wanted to keep stopping during the mission to have sex when they're like, we gotta do this.
Yeah, you're right. I mean,
I
thought it was only the once, but
Oh, it was a couple times.
Yeah.
And then when Kirk finally was like, hey,
maybe
we
not
could rest
now.
a while, Lara.
Yeah.
He specifically called her
Right.
out.
He changed his mind because at first he was like, no. And I was like,
Yes.
that's not believable. Then he was like, this might be a good time for a rest. No, let's move on.
Might be a good time for us, Lara.
Right.
That's what he said.
And then everybody else
calling
was...
her out, though, it was the clue that
I don't know if
He
this
was
puts us into... Everyone else was blockers. They were blockers.
They were
He's
chicken
like,
blockers.
He's like,
rooster blockers.
yeah. He's like, let's rest, Laura. This is a good time to rest, Laura. No, let's forge on. I was like, come on. And yeah, I love the way she was like, let's get this straight. I don't like Vulcans. I'm a racist, but let's do this. I'm attracted to you. So,
And that's why he held off as long as he did. For decorum,
the racism might have put him off.
She said she was attracted to Spock as well?
No, she said she doesn't like Vulcans.
Okay.
Yeah.
But you,
I see.
you I
Cold-blooded
like.
critters.
Okay.
Let's
yes,
make
yes.
this happen. And
Yes.
then, yeah.
I honestly, I didn't see Kirk going, okay, let's have sex. Because I guess Kirk was like, okay, we're at the mission, we're at the end, so now's the time.
Right,
Sex now or
right.
never.
Exactly. Or,
Yeah.
see, it was at the end when he said that, right?
Yes.
Okay, I
Yeah.
did catch that.
But-
You're right, because death looked imminent.
I know, but the rest of the while I'm then mentioning her, I was like, whoa, that's pretty explicit for a Saturday morning cartoon.
I was
Yeah.
thinking that it's funny.
I mean, to us it was obvious, but I don't know if to a 7-year-old.
Right.
would
It was
be.
it was just vague enough. But if
Yeah.
you're an adult watching, you know right away. It's like,
Oh, yeah.
okay, what?
I think if Shatner was performing it live, though, instead of animated, there would have been a more playful quality to
Yes.
it, where it would have seemed like he was joking.
But it was interesting when she most obviously and noticeably to me propositioned him. He's being professional. He's like, no, we're busy. We got to do this
Yeah,
thing.
that's
And
what
it's
I
kind of
wrote.
like,
Not
wow.
believable.
But so she had just been racist against Spock, and then he called her fascinating. And see again, if the
Yeah.
flirty
Yeah.
playfulness was in it,
That's true.
Yeah.
I think
Eyebrow.
the writer was
What a-
hearing it as
I think
flirty
you're right.
playful.
Yeah.
I think you're right. That's
Yeah.
a good point.
Oh, my last thing to say about Lara before I take this
Yeah.
one off is her eyebrows are off fleek.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
The opposite of on fleek.
This
off.
might not be my last Lara episode, or Lara,
Nope.
but my alternate episode was, originally it was Lara double crosses him, and then, of course, Char was.
Yeah,
But,
that seemed too obvious for her.
Yeah, yeah. So it was actually, well, it would have been she has sex with Kirk and then she double crosses him. So then when it was obvious that obviously Char was the one, I changed it. It's a sex ed episode. So Kirk and her actually do take a rest, and it teaches young people about the dangers of, you know, unprotected sex and that kind of stuff.
See, my alternate episode was Kirk says, "Okay, Lara, I'll sleep with you if Spock gets to join in."
Well, we didn't have that moment early on where
Calls her bluff.
we thought that
They were gonna make out on the hill.
was it Swore was like, why don't you two? And we thought he was gonna get a room, but he I can't remember what did he say instead. Just
It was overshadowed by the thing that he was going to.
Something about your honors or whatever.
oh yeah, instead of exchanging honors, yeah.
The lava stuff. Besides the fact that Kurt Shatner pronounced it lava.
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 No, it was lava.
Lava, yeah.
Again, they weren't in the same room and it showed. But the lava part was very Jurassic World 2 for me. The lava's coming and I kept expecting the Brontosaurus on the dock. We saw the lava chasing them and they were outrunning it. And then Kirk and Spock stopped to talk and have a moment as they're running from the lava. It was bad.
Well, then Spock got to do he fell down. Leave me. And actually,
Yeah.
he and Green
M3
Green both had the most. Leave me. But Kirk made. I liked that Kirk was like, he didn't say the word logical, but he's pretty much, no, it makes more sense for us to get you.
Yeah.
There wasn't as much risk with that,
Right.
as you
I
thought.
mean, clearly, because it wasn't like a last
Yeah.
minute thing. They were
Spock
fine.
being dramatic there.
Yeah. My problem with M3 Green, although I liked him overall, was he kept talking about what a coward he was. He didn't sound cowardly. He did not really sound scared most of the time.
The voice was
seemed
he was doing
weaselly,
it.
Yeah, the
yeah.
droopy thing.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know if we should do this. I didn't understand why when he fell in that crevasse that he didn't use all his
Crevasse.
crevasse.
Crevassier.
Crevasse.
Crevasse.
Yeah.
Past the crevassier.
That was
Crevasse.
Why didn't he use all 6 of his arms to get out of there?
well, they were lower. It was just there was
But
no
they could have
handhold.
grabbed the rock and
Maybe.
scurried up, right? I mean, what the hell use are those other arms?
Well, bugs, when they get scared, they curl up. And they don't try to climb. You notice how he curled around?
I'm not an etymologist.
Entomologist.
Entomologist is
Yeah.
bugs. Etymologist is words. Okay.
Yes.
See, clearly, I'm not good at
You're not either.
I'm not good at either of those.
Oh God, the irony. That's beautiful. Just like that.
Oh, my goodness.
Make the joke either way. That's awesome. A non-lazy thing they did was they had no new ships at the. I was like, oh, what's
And they
wow,
weren't
all
on a
this
level
stuff.
plane either.
Yeah, yeah. They were just like hanging out.
Some
There
of
was
them
like,
were tilted, yeah.
Now, if they had been fighting each other, then they would have backed.
Sure. But they were all cooperating.
one thing I didn't mention last week or episode was that.
Yes, it was a whole
week.
week ago, Keith.
Oh, what a week it's been.
So it seems in general for the animated series. They're a little bit more diligent, or at least they have, I guess, more leeway to really start trying to be science fiction.
Yeah.
As opposed to the
For
conception.
the look.
For the look and other things, and just even some of the concepts, as opposed to converting Western scripts or whatever they were doing during the original series.
Yeah.
It's like they were just,
true.
guys, write whatever you want. They probably have fans or whoever, is actually into
even as cheap
sci-fi.
as Filmation was with their animation, they could at least do things like the elephant snails last week.
Yeah. I do think it's interesting, of course, when we decide to get the most capable, smartest beings in the universe together. We have 2 humans, 2 members of the Enterprise crew, because this very advanced species not only knew other species, but knew individuals in those other species that they could put together this crack shot team. That all seemed ridiculous to me.
Did the advanced species was the one that beamed them there? Or
It was the wolf cat with the backwards hand.
Okay,
So why couldn't they? Because when they came back, and I wasn't surprised. He was like, "What happened? You just left and you came right back." It's like, of course,
That was dumb.
just like the Guardian Forever. But
Why did you? So you thought that was?
I knew
you
that was going to
expected?
be the thing. Yeah.
I had no.
Just
I
from the
thought
look
that
of
made no
Sulu's
sense.
sideburn.
I thought that made no sense.
No,
didn't.
I didn't get. I didn't get like the setup for where you even thought.
I just had a feeling it was. Yeah. That also means that because Lara was like, "Too bad we didn't get to do it." It's like, you know what? Why not? They could have done it, and it would have been like no time had passed when they got back. And couldn't the wolf cat have told them that? Hey, by the way, when you go back, it'll be in like 2 minutes.
But in the
Well, they
I mean,
also
like
said
at
their
the
memories
end,
would
I see.
slowly fade of it.
What?
Even more reason.
So much.
Yeah, it's even more weird. Yeah.
The time
I
and the
mean-
memory thing don't make sense to me.
With most guys, that's what happens anyway.
Oh.
Yes. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. I went there.
I thought it was ridiculous that they said this was the oldest spacefaring race we know, because I don't feel like it matches with other canon. I felt like they should have just said, hey, it's an old species.
Spacefaring, is that the term they use?
The oldest spacefaring race we know.
I think they mean people that charge to travel in space. Spacefaring. I think it's two separate
I see what
words.
you're
Yeah.
saying.
Yeah.
The structure of the series and the implausibility of Kirk being on every away mission and so forth.
yeah.
Yep.
It feels like it's modeled more after like the old style like pirate explorer. I think
Yeah.
maybe we talked about that or
Yeah.
something. But yeah, it's just like the idea that it's really Kirk going exploring and the crew is there to back him up, as opposed to him being in a military organization where he is the most important person on the ship.
Well, what was the thing?
So-
They said they chose Kirk for his something and his adaptability.
His leadership.
Leadership and his adaptability.
So Gene Roddenberry modeled Star Trek. He would always describe it as wagon train to the
Yeah.
stars.
Yep.
So I saw Kirk as like the leader of the Western wagon train.
Sure.
So of course he has to scout out ahead and take care of the group that's behind, that's traveling with him. Which is not how a military ship would run.
Right.
But it is how like a covered wagon train
Exploration,
would run.
yeah.
So it seems like they started course correcting in the later series as Star Trek.
Well, that was... They make I mean, we're going to get to this very soon at this point.
Yeah.
But part of the reason Picard chooses Riker is Riker's like, captains aren't supposed to go on away missions.
Yeah.
You don't put the captain in danger. I did not like that the old race described it as a mad planet. I felt like
Yeah.
it felt off to
does
personify
that
the
mean?
planet. The planet was angry.
The one where they were stationed or where they were
where all the volcano and then the snow.
The
that was the mad
old
planet.
wolf cat lady called it a mad planet, and then several times later in the episode, other people said, "Oh, the mad planet."
Speaking of which, the lizard create with Score.
Sword. SORD.
Oh, okay. Sword.
He was great.
I put him down as a long time It's All Been Trek contributor who appreciates the variety of the terrain. He put out like, yeah, I like this place. It's got like,
I like this place. It has variety.
yeah.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah. This episode had an issue that so many episodes have. We're gonna just walk. They could give him a little car, but they could have got a shuttle. They could have beamed. They could have. There are so many quicker, easier ways to get from place to place.
This is
Yeah,
when we
yeah.
should have known Char was the bad guy. So they're trying to get up that hill while he's up there just flying around. It's like, just go down and pick them all up and move them up to there.
But he did rescue him through Green. Why did he rescue him through Green?
Oh,
He
that's a
wasn't
good
ready to
point.
blow his cover yet.
Oh, maybe that's why.
But I did the Lara when Char disappeared with the dragon, and she's like, "What happened to Char?" And I'm like, "You saw the same thing we just saw, and you haven't even given him time to like come back yet."
It's weird how often in the animation
disappears.
those exposition
Went behind the
questions get
mountain.
answered.
What did you do? Yeah. One of the things I noted early on, so we're meeting all the different aliens, and I put down all the aliens have resting face. Especially Char, the folded-armed eagle.
Yeah.
Just all his arms
Yeah.
folded. It's like,
Unless he was fully extended. I wrote, why are they meeting in the woods?
a covert, they're actually, all
But
right.
they're an advanced race, right? The Vidalia, whatever they are, or Vidalia,
Yeah.
The onions.
the wolf cat
The
people.
onions. Yes.
Yeah.
I guess I missed what, I was so,
But no, you're right.
I was taking a lot of notes during this one, and it was like I was missing some exposition, so I don't even know why they were where they
This
were.
is why better podcast hosts than us watch the episodes multiple times before they talk about
I
it.
guess. But I don't know why they were there exactly, or what they were trying to accomplish, or why that location within the place. What were they trying to? So they were
Right.
trying to recover this soul of something.
It seems
right?
like they
And
could have met anywhere, like I said, and they wouldn't have to be in the woods on that planet.
Were they
right?
trying to locate it because they didn't know where it was on that planet? And
But what happened to the force field that was surrounding the artifact? Because they kept talking. Kirk's like, we can't grab it because there's a force field, and they just took his foot in it and they beam it, and it's fine.
Yeah. I don't know.
Spock was very out of character in this episode. He said something was impossible. That wasn't impossible.
Yeah, there are always
He
possibilities.
said
As long as they're
philosophy. And they asked him about quoting things. And he's like, I quote philosophy and poetry, but they're not appropriate here. They're always appropriate. I think was it him that said there's no life on this planet? Yeah, except for you all,
Right.
Because you're all
Right.
life.
Right.
I don't know. It just felt
They
very out
kept
of-
drilling that home. There's no life on this planet. There's no life on this planet. Oh.
Except for robot dragons.
Right, yeah.
I just thought Spock was wasted and out of character.
What? How did Shatner say lava?
lava.
Lava. So then Spock said sabotaged, and I thought it was because they were worried about Shatner saying sabotage again. But then Kirk did say sabotage, but
And he said it right.
he did. So that surprised me. Lots of racism in this episode, speciesism in this episode.
Yes.
They don't like Vulcans, they don't like humans, they don't like whatever these other creatures were.
No, nobody likes humans, or they shouldn't anyway. Yeah.
I know we joked last week about, the finale coming up, and oh man, it's going to be
This was the finale.
jam-packed, yeah.
Or a cliffhanger. You were
Yeah,
saying.
cliffhanger, but it was kind of an all-star finale with all these
It was
aliens and everything.
Yeah,
So,
I liked all that.
I thought they were like, okay, we're going to throw it on in here because I'm guessing at the time, and again, good podcasters would have researched this. I'm guessing at the time they didn't know they were coming back, and especially for just 6 episodes.
I would imagine they were probably already work on the 6 episodes. They just
Maybe.
didn't know they were going to stop after 6.
Yeah, maybe that's true.
Yeah. Because I don't think there was a huge break in the airings, were there? This episode aired.
In my mind, these 16 probably got repeated over and over until
Oh, I'm sure.
the next September.
Well, this episode aired January 1974.
Okay.
And the next episode aired September
That's what I
1974.
was going to
So
say.
I guess
bet
they did have
there were 9
9
months, yeah.
I guess they did have a 9-month
Yeah.
break.
What was the question?
Why did they even come back for a second 6 episodes after their 16-episode first season?
I wonder if I wonder, to your point, I wonder if they just recorded all 22, but they just didn't air them all. Although that doesn't make sense.
That doesn't
either.
make sense either.
But it was the 70s and
They aired
Saturday
pretty
morning.
regularly September through January. Then took
Every-
9 months off, and they aired regularly September through
So
October.
how many were there in the first season?
16.
16. I don't know. That sounds like a strange number to stop at. They probably did just record them all and maybe arbitrarily cut them up or
Yeah.
something.
I don't know.
There's probably some reason why they had to stop.
Maybe they were
airing it,
like,
or-
"Oh, we're going to cancel this," and then they had a hole in the schedule, and they're like, "Oh, we've already made these other ones."
Yeah,
want to
that's
air."
possible too.
That's
yeah.
that's what I'm saying.
That
It's,
seems
it's more like a-
Although premiering them in September, that's like a new show. I don't know.
I did. There was one thing I really liked in this episode was that the way I interpreted it made it better than maybe it was. But they said they were going to heal not Sklar.
score.
I do love the Sklar brothers.
Sword.
Cure his insanity.
The Char.
Oh, Char.
Yeah,
Yes.
they were going to heal him of his madness, which I felt like that was like,
That's what actually showed how advanced they were.
is it?
To me.
Well, see, I took that as he's defective. We're going to fix that. I took it like a Clockwork Orange thing where
Oh.
he doesn't really have a madness. He's just a bad person.
No, I took
they
it
were
as,
gonna-
man, they can heal mental illness while not messing with your personality. That's advanced.
I took it as they were going to brainwash him.
Or
Okay.
it could have been a couple more euphemistic things like they can't do it without harming him, or they're just going to kill him.
Well, because I felt like
Look.
the Wolfcat people were like, "Hey, come help us. We're only going to tell you so much. All right, thanks for getting this guy. We got this handled. Get out of here. We're going to heal him of his madness. You don't have to be here for this." And then everyone leaves like they brainwash him and
yeah.
Did you know, just a general note about the animated series, this season was nominated for a Daytime Emmy Award for Best
Yeah.
Animated Children's Entertainment.
Back
It did
then,
not-
I mean-
It did not win, but the second season did win.
Yeah.
The Daytime Emmy for Outstanding Entertainment Children's Series.
So weird.
Specifically for the episode How Sharper Than a Serpent's Tooth, which we will get to.
That is bizarre, especially if like we are theorizing they've been canceled or something, or some
or
weird thing
won
like
an
led
Emmy.
to them.
Also, just to give you a quick tease, Keith, in season 2, we're going to see the holodeck.
What?
Yep.
Oh man.
You excited?
Yeah.
You thought it didn't come out till next gen. It was in the animated
Of course
series.
not.
It was in the animated series.
Do you think that's well? I mean, I guess we'll get to that.
It doesn't look quite like it did in next gen, but it functions the same.
My last note was that when they finally got to whatever that structure they got inside of, there's maybe an intentional or unintentional callback. Maybe the continuity comes into play where Kirk says, "No, we don't have that equipment. We can't climb this because we didn't bring it."
You traveled light.
Yep.
I had just a couple more notes. Kirk, when he was in the temple, in one shot was wearing a white utility belt. Just in one brief shot, and then it was gone. So maybe he did bring some equipment. It was just under his shirt.
Oh, he just dropped it.
I also thought it was interesting. They talked about 200 billion soldiers and how many billions of lives would die, and extending upon that in the Dominion War during Deep Space Nine. I believe they mentioned trillions of people die.
Wow,
so the universe is still expanding. And people are still having babies.
What was Jihad referring to? Who was the?
If that artifact fell into the wrong hands,
Okay.
it
would start
yes. Shore's people would have had a holy war.
Jihad.
The eagle. So
Yes.
No, the lizard.
No, the eagle.
No, Char. Okay.
Char.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
They would have birthed 200 billion soldiers, and they would have had a war in 2 years. They reproduce and grow very quickly, apparently.
That's all I got.
Yeah.
Okay, then I guess we get to rankings. Men and women of Star Trek.
I'm sticking with
You sticking with Randy Bryce?
Randy Bryce.
Laura didn't do it for you?
No, I liked her straightforwardness.
I was going to say the exact same thing. And like Jimmy was saying earlier, I kind of made me want to like her, but
Yeah.
it's just too many.
I think we all like strong females that know what they want and go after it. But yeah, it was hard to like. I'm going to have to stick with Dev now.
And again, if she
Even though I was also tempted by M3 Green with the 6 arms. I mean, but I'm going to stick with Dev now.
if she hadn't been such a speciesist, I could have got
that.
Maybe.
I mean, if she was more attractive, I could have got past her speciesist.
No, honestly, that did. I mean, those personality traits certainly just a huge
she was
turn off
just
as far
annoying.
as.
I like that she transitioned immediately from your friend's race is terrible. How about you and me though? How about we get it on? I like the way you look.
So you're sticking with the sick crew woman then, Keith?
Yeah, I got to work on her still.
They can cure her of her madness.
Yeah, of her racism. It's taught. It's not inherent. And where do we want to rank the episode?
I think it's fairly high up because this is another ambitious.
Okay. No, that's fair.
Yeah, execution-wise, whatever, but they did a lot of stuff. They tried to do a lot of things in it.
Let's start with last week's episode then. Was this better or worse than Eye of the Beholder?
I'd like actually think the zoo episode.
I mean, I think I have an easy answer, but I guess it's not as easy for you guys.
I think it was better than that simply because of the variety of aliens and it certainly made me laugh more for certain kinds of reasons.
It was more entertaining.
Yeah. Again,
it was more entertaining, but I just thought the whole premise was pretty ridiculous. The execution.
It's arguable whether or not, of course, it was executed
there were great
well.
Elements, but the walking across the planet for me just immediately knocks it down 6 pounds.
Well, the car couldn't get up that hill.
They're on a mad planet with lava, and they have a car that can't even drive up a hill.
Lava.
Whatever.
No, that's not even
lava.
I'm coming up with a new way to say it.
I mean, I think it was sort of like lava and lava between, so it's sort of like lava.
Like they were going to say lavender, and they said lava.
Yeah.
But they still didn't drive. I mean, they had the same problem in Eye of the Beholder to a certain extent, except they weren't there for a mission either.
Well, they had to go 1.1 kilometers, which is at least 0.7 of a mile, man.
Yeah, that's true. It wasn't as primary to the plot in Eye of the Beholder, in my opinion.
Yeah, choice.
So Keith's saying above Eye of the Beholder, I'm saying below. Steven.
Just for pure entertainment and end of season value, I'm going to say this one above Eye of the Beholder.
Ooh, I get overruled. That's rare.
Yep.
Okay, I'm allowed to be overruled. We have a democracy. Next one up's The Survivor.
No, it's not better than that.
Okay, cool. I mean, sorry, Keith, do you want to weigh in?
I think I liked it more than Survivor, but whatever. I mean, I don't feel strongly enough to fight it on that sense. So, yeah.
I accidentally went ahead and put it below Eye of the Beholder. I'm fixing it. Just total.
By next week, we wouldn't remember.
Total autopilot.
That's true.
No, it's above where it rightfully belongs. I'm mean, honestly, I'm looking at the next one down to the Territon incident, and I would have ranked it above that. So it's just one spot.
Yeah.
Next week, we start season 2.
Yeah.
The Pirates of Orion, which is a special live episode
Live
we
show.
recorded at Mad Lab.
Yeah.
Or will have recorded. We obviously haven't recorded it yet.
We're gonna have some special things.
I don't know how the animators are going to keep drawing it that quickly, but
We're gonna.
we'll have to make them.
We will have a
We
couple.
can't have. It was not a public exhibition. The show.
That's
Only
right.
the discussion.
We're just gonna
was the public
discussion.
event.
Yeah.
We're very clear on that. in the
So to
invitation.
get people to come and talk about it rather than watch it, we're going to have, in addition to our conversation about the Pirates of Orion, we're going to have a couple folks from the audience read every single line of dialogue that Sulu and Uhura have in the Star Trek II: The Wrath of Khan.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, awesome.
Every single line.
Which is
It's going to take at least 2 minutes.
yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know if I should say at least 2 minutes. It's going to take at least 90 seconds.
I think it's around 50 lines of dialogue, maybe.
We're also going to play some Star Trek Mad Libs.
That's right. Yeah. So
Awesome.
And we'll have some special guest hosts with us, and we'll just be the 3 of us.
yeah, and our last and only live one so far. Let that be your last Battlefield. It was a lot of fun. We had a lot of new people.
Yeah,
that was a lot of
from
fun.
season
So
3. It wasn't. That wasn't our only live one. We also did Trouble Tribbles live.
oh, that's right. Troubles. That's right.
So this won't be our last live episode. We hope you're going to enjoy it. By the time you hear this, we recorded it a long time ago.
That's right.
Sorry, we
That's
should have
right.
plugged it. A while
I guess
ago.
we should have.
You know, we can go ahead and plug that.
That's right. We can.
Our next live episode that we have scheduled, there may be 2 in August, but our next live episode that we will be recording, and I can't tell you what episode it's going to be yet, but it will be a first season Next Generation episode at Mad Lab. It will be on Friday, July 26th, about 10:30 p.m. whenever Young Riders clear out.
Sounds a good time.
Yeah, whenever Young Riders clears out.
So that's not Fringe. It's just an FNA then.
Yeah.
This is
FNA.
yes, Friday night
FNA.
afterwards
It's
at Mad Lab
FNA.
Theater.
FNA.
That's not explicit. See, we can do that, right?
So yeah, Friday, July 26th. That's actually coming up real soon here for
Yeah.
you guys.
Yeah.
So come join us
Mark
Friday,
that
July
calendar.
26th. Until then, though, we gotta go prepare
That's
for
right.
Pirates of the Orion, which we're recording tomorrow.
Yeah.
Breaking the Wall again. We're recording it tomorrow.
Tomorrow,
And
next week.
In that episode, the medicine required for Spock, who has contracted a fatal disease, is stolen by Orion pirates. And we all like Orion pirates. Devna is still my female.
Oh yeah. I wonder if she'll be back.
Obviously, we like Vina,
Sure.
even though she wasn't really Orion. And the hot girl roommate from Star Trek 2009,
Oh
Orion.
yeah. Yes.
Yeah. Was the girl who started Continuum.
Paint and go green, and she's halfway into my heart.
I mean, only halfway.
Well,
Anyway, until then, have a good week.
live long and prosper.
It's All Been Done presents.
Who's got the time?